we were going to do that, though, because I had to do that with the X camera, and I had to basically install a driver that let that X camera, even though it was networked, be available as like a USB camera that it could use.
Gotcha.
Like a USB camera that it could use.
Gotcha. Sorry, I think Mm-hmm.
I heard him talking through the thing.
Yeah. So can we maximize this to take the whole screen or not really?
Maybe.
There are 21. Huh? There are? Yeah. Probably move it out of the way. Yeah. Yeah. Why am I hearing double? So if you're joining us, thanks for tuning in. We're trying to just still get the camera set up so that you guys can see. We have Saturn imaged in the field of view right now, and we'll show you that, and then show you Jupiter. Unfortunately, they are not close enough to see them in the same field of view. But we'll hopefully be able to show you both. All right, so here's our image of Saturn. Looks pretty cool. You can see the rings. And when Monday night comes, if you guys are actually viewing this, you should step outside quick, and you can actually see this almost better by naked eye. So if you look in the southwest, you see two kind of bright looking stars very close down to the horizon. And then you'll see the crescent moon up a little bit higher. It's a beautiful view right now. So looking at tomorrow.
Try for Jupiter now.
Yeah, let's do it. So we are streaming from the deck of the Braille Observatory. It is quite cold out right now. Oh, something just went by. Oh, there you go. Yep, there it is. Okay, so that's Jupiter. We're going to have to just adjust our contrast a little bit so you can see the features on that.
This one.
Okay, we'll get that image set up. All right, so these planets are really low down on the horizon right now. So Jupiter looks like pretty fuzzy. I don't know if we'll try to focus at all, but sometimes you can see the band structure on it. We're going to try and see if we can adjust the focus a little bit to see if we get anything in there. Yeah, it's worse. Nope. Yeah, it's better, but I still don't see any of the bands. I think it's just going to be too much atmosphere in the way right now. So we'll go back to Saturn. And Jupiter is a little bit lower on the sky too, so we're starting to get blocked by our trees here.
Okay.
Cool.
I had to stop and record.
Are you recording? Sorry.
Okay, back to Saturn.
Cool. Here it go back to Saturn, and then that might be out for us because we can't. Nobody can feel their hands anymore up here. So Saturn's a little bit fainter on the sky. So George Hassel just increase the length of the exposure. Jupiter will get saturated, but it'll be a good exposure for Saturn. So we just have a camera hooked up to the eyepiece of an 8-inch telescope. And that's all you need to view the planets. It doesn't have to be a big telescope. There it is.
Come back.
There it is. Nice. So Saturn's nice in that the rings are really visible. It'd be much nicer if we could have people here in person, but at least you get a sense of what it looks like to see these planets through an eyepiece of a telescope. So you can see it shaking quite a bit. That's really the atmosphere that's blurring the image that we see right now. Yeah. So the rings of Saturn were actually observed by Galileo Galilei. Just a really small telescope. He had like a 3-inch telescope that he made and could see that there was not just a spherical planet, but it was actually rings on that. Want to try the focus a little bit and see? I think it's just very blurry. That's worse. That's worse. Yeah, I think you're probably at the best spot. Yep, that's it. So the atmosphere kind of makes these objects bounce around when we look at them. So it's not actually Saturn. It's not bouncing around. It's just the light as it comes through the atmosphere makes it look shaky like that. But you can see the rings. We didn't see any of the moons. When you look through the eyepiece, we can see the moons. It's just not coming up very well on this camera to get the moons and the planet at the same time. Just need different exposures. Whew. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, if you keep an eye out, it's good to see it in the early evening, basically as soon as it gets dark. If you look in the southwest, you'll be able to see these pretty clearly. They'll be getting closer together for another couple of nights till we get to the 21st, when they'll actually really be hard to tell that there's two separate objects there, and then they'll start moving apart again. Jupiter will pass Saturn by. So this is just a line of sight coincidence, right? They're not actually physically close together, but just from our viewpoint, they look like they're in the same direction of the sky, and so they look like they're really close on the sky, but they're still quite far apart. Okay, so we are completely frozen up here, so we are going to sign off now. Hopefully you guys got at least a sense of what it looks like to see these planets through the telescope. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully you can come visit the observatory once we get through this pandemic. Vaccines are happening now, so maybe by next summer, next fall, we'll be able to see these planets in person. All right, take care. Okay.